What's up everybody, it's Coach PS here and welcome to my channel, and more importantly, welcome to the first ever Coaches Edition. So the idea of releasing a Coaches Edition video is so I can focus more on the tactics and the concepts behind what current teams are trying to do. To all the coaches out there, I'm active on Instagram and Twitter, so if you want to see more content, go follow those accounts. I'll be leaving the links in the description as well as on the screen. I would also suggest for you guys to all check out my second video when it is released, as I go into more detail covering the skill which you can then teach your players. In today's video, we are going to take a look into how current teams are having success when playing against the hedge. The first team we are going to focus on is Olimpia Milano, coached by one of the most prestigious coaches in basketball right now and four-time EuroLeague champion, Ettore Messina. The first concept that many teams are using is seeking to punish the rotation. The most common way to do this is by finding the open man. Against the hedge, the two best ways to do this is by hitting the short roll or the fill or safety guy. Finding the open man in any situation forces the defense to rotate off of their man, leaving somebody else open. Let's take a look at this first example. Pay attention to where the ball screen is taking place, how the other players are spaced, and how they move. A common theme, especially for Milano, is that the middle third ball screen rarely takes place on the 3-point line, especially against the hedge. The main reason for this is that if the ball handler draws the hedge out far enough, the distance for the hedge to rotate or recover is longer, giving the offense more time. Another important detail to look at is the on-ball defender is caught up on the screen, which allows the ball handler to draw the hedge out further, as if the hedge leaves, the ball handler will be able to attack. The way Milano are set up is 4 players out on the perimeter, which is very common for most teams, especially in a middle third ball screen situation. If you are playing with another big who isn't a great shooter, using the dunker's spot can be useful, as the player can still be a threat. Look how far the ball handler has forced the hedge out and how open the short roll is. The goal of the team is to get the ball to the short roll either straight away by the ball handler, or as you see in this example, hitting the safety man. It helps to understand tactically how the defense is going to rotate, as it will determine who will be open and where the ball goes next. As you see in this example, the defender who tagged the roll is now recovering back to his man, who is one pass away, leaving the short roll open. The short roll is key when playing against the hedge, as his decision will ultimately determine whether or not they will get an open shot. The defense usually rotates off of non-shooters, and the way teams have countered this is, instead of staying in the corner and not being a threat, they cut when their man leaves. Pay attention to who is the final rotation. The cutter would not have been as open if the screen was on the 3-point line, as the hedge would have recovered. The next example is when the ball handler hits the short roll. This time Milano use a zipper action to get into their middle third ball screen. The idea is they want the defense to be chasing before they enter the ball screen. This example is different from the last, as look at Milano's spacing on the floor. This time they have a non-shooting big, and watch what he does when the ball goes to the short roll. Side note, look at the space between the screener and the hedge. This can be a good indicator whether or not to hit the short roll with a pocket pass. This is how you can utilize a non-shooting big. Soon as the ball hits the short roll, look how he is trying to seal the next rotation. This is a great concept to teach, as it forces the rotating defender to either get in front and stop the layup, or stay with his man, potentially giving up a layup. Pay attention to the way the player on the wing moves. Many teams are having this guy stay or move a few steps either way, as it forces the rotating defender to make a choice between the two. This is why I say the roll man is key, as in this example, his next decision will decide what shot the offense will get, either a wide open layup or a contested shot. The offense managed to maintain their advantage by attacking a closeout, leading to a score in the key. Here is another new trend that many teams are implementing, especially with a non-shooting big. is when the ball is released to the fill man, the big then sets a step-up screen. Pay attention again to the spacing as well as where the non-shooting big is. The ball handler has space if he wanted to turn the corner as well as hit the short roll. Now pay attention to who is tagging the short roll. As the weak side corner is free, it has to be the other big man's defender. If the ball did get to the short roll, the opposite big man has an opportunity to cut to the basket as his man has rotated, and like before, forcing the next rotation to make a choice between the two. Here is another concept teams are implementing. Look at how the roll man feels to the open corner. So as the pick and roll happens, he feels to the corner, aiming to open up the middle for the short roll. The defense does a good job recognizing this and rotates, but now leaving a 2v1 on the strong side. As you can see, it's all about finding the open man. The corner guy has an opportunity to cut, but he can also shoot the three, so he has that choice. The short roll is key again, as if he holds onto the ball for too long, it will allow the defense to rotate and recover. Here is a different situation where the ball screen is taking place on the wing. The wing can also be a great place to play the ball screen against the hedge, especially with an open corner. If you are fortunate to have a shooting big man, running a pick and pop could be a great option in this situation. Notice how the screener slips early into the space. The read for the slip is if the hedge shows early. Another detail to note is, look how the big is moving as soon as his man rotates to help on the pop, forcing another rotation, allowing the wing to be open for a shot or a cut down the lane. This next concept is key for when the offense doesn't execute or the defense does a good job of taking away their main options. This is also a great tool to teach your players so the offense doesn't lose their advantage. Anytime the defense loses track of where their man is by turning their head to the ball, that player should punish them by cutting to the basket. Here are two examples of when the offense has made the wrong read, as well as the defense doing a good job in anticipating what the offense wants to do. Here is Olympiacos Pires following some of the same concepts, but they also have their own variations which achieve the same result. They like to have the ball screen a few steps off of the 3-point line, but on the wing. As the screen happens, the two players the ball handler is attacking towards usually interchange, or the top guy sets a pin down. This is to essentially to engage the help side defenders so the roll man can have a free lane down the middle. These next two examples are of Olympiacos using the 4-out spacing and punishing the rotation. The double drag is a great action to use when playing against the hedge, especially when having a 4-man that can shoot. There are some key details that you need to pay attention to for it to be effective. The first key is only one screen needs to be set, and in this scenario it's the first screen. Also, the spacing is key. As you can see, the strong side corner is open, so the 4-man can pop without worrying about any rotation. The next detail is, once the ball handler has cleared the first screen, the second screener goes straight away, as they already have their advantage. As there is no strong side corner, the defender who tags the roll has to be the hedge, which now leaves the 4-man open on the wing for a shot. Otherwise, the roll man will have a wide open dunk. That's the end of the video. I hope you're able to find some value and learn a few new ideas that you can all implement within your teams. Don't forget to like, comment and share the video, and finally don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I've been Coach Pierce and I'll see you all next time.